Hello everyone, welcome to join me for the live webinar of Kinesia 4. I'm LIAN, Product Manager of SBJ System. It's my pleasure to have this chance to showcase the new feature of Kinesia 4. Today, I'm joined by YoanN PLENET, the head of the product management at SBJ System. So during the whole webinar, all the attendees will be muted. If you have any question about Kinesia, please just send it through the private chat message. And we will have a live Q&A session at the end. So please make sure you stay until the end. Firstly, please allow me to shortly introduce the publisher of Kinesia, SBJ Systems. It's a leading supplier of orientation, stabilization, and navigation solutions. Founded in 2007, headquartered in France, with 4 subsidiaries worldwide. Currently, there is 13,000 sensors in the field. Kinesia is a post-processing kinematic software. It's designed for process data from GNSS and inertial sensors to improve accuracy and reliability of the position and orientations. So I would like to launch the first question to let me get a general idea if all you guys are familiar with these PPK softwares. So please move your finger, make a choice, click the answer on the screen. Okay. 15% of people don't use PPK yet. So now we will talk about if PPK is better than the RTK and why should we use PPK compared with RTK. First, inside of PPK, you can do the mutual pass with forward, backward, and merge processings. So even in the open sky, without outage of a GNSS, we can see from this table that is a performance specification of Equinox. It's a product of SBJ Systems. So we can see directly the performance will be highly improved by minimum 13% compared with the RTK. And also, with this forward, backward, and merge processing, you can maximum accuracy from the first seconds of your log, because almost all the inertial device will need a warm-up phase. And with this mutual pass, we can just calculate the error with the whole log and just apply the errors calculation from the first seconds of your log. So then you can save time. You can reach the maximal performance at the first seconds of your log. And also it can reduce impact of the GNSS loss, like the duration of the outage for the GNSS will be divided by 2. Especially when the GNSS reception faces some challenge. For example, when you just pass by the tunnel or the bridge, it will achieve a higher accuracy of your result. And also with PPK, you don't need to have a real-time communication equipment, so that will save budget and time. And not you don't need to install a reference base stations around acquisitions. Inside of Kinesia, there are over 7,000 published free base stations, and also Kinesia includes a long list of the course network. In version 4, access to the SmartNet course network is available. So that means you have additional 5,300 base stations at your service. Just need to have a third-party subscriptions. And also, if you don't find any base station around, we have another option for you. It's a virtual base stations. It's a solution for the corridor mapping. It can also mitigate the high ionospheric activities. So that is correction generated by a network of base stations. And also with Kinesia 4, this new version, we provide a tight coupling PPP, which is available 24 hours after your missions. So even there's no base station, you can just launch this PPK with a PPP. And also, it's very useful for the case like in the middle of the ocean. PPK will have a better control of the GNSS signal qualities. Unlike the RTK systems, some RTK may not configure to receive accurate and up-to-date ephemeris data. And with PPK, you can ensure you receive both percusted and precise ephemeris. Version 4 will provide advanced GNSS settings. For example, first, we have a new long list of graphs about the GNSS, the signal noise ratio, the sky plot, and the phase, etc. And also during the PPK processing, Kinesia will automatically exclude the poor quality signals. And in version 4, it's possible to manually disable an individual satellite, an entire signal band, or entire constellations. Kinesia provides very integration approach. So you will have the GNSS only, loose coupling PPK, tight coupling PPK, and also the new one, tight coupling PPP. Kinesia 4 also make PPK correct by the power of the real-time RTCM streams. As we all know, RTK will have a reduced accuracy as the baseline lines increase, but PPK can conduct measurement over a greater distance without significant loss in the precision, thanks to the virtual base station or the new algorithm IonoShield. So according to the chart below, we can see the solar activity is increasing recently, and it expected to peak between 2023 and 25. So with increasing of the solar activity, it will cause a lot of ionospheric irregularities. When the signal wave passes through the atmosphere, all these electrical elements will cause a signal delay. That will result in the error and increasing of the final result. So with this new algorithm IonoShield, it will help you conquer this situation. So just mitigate the high solar activity effects. As we showed at the beginning of the webinar, there are 8 main features inside this new version. 5 of them already discussed. So let's check the rest 3 ones. The first one we want to talk about is a new Geodesy Engine. That is a brand new Geodetic converters inside the Kinesia, which will help you handle all the reference system transformations based on your settings. So it can make sure higher accuracy with a full consideration of the geodetic transformations. But why should we consider geodesy when we're doing surveying? Because all the accurate measurement of the precision on the Earth's surface will require a reference frame and a precision representation conversions. So all the following elements need to be considered, like the shape of the Earth, the vertical height reference, coordinate system, map projection, and the geological plate movement. I will go through it one by one. As we all know, the Earth is not a perfect sphere, so it's an irregular ellipsoid, like flattened at the poles and elongated at equators. That's why different mathematical models of the Earth's shape has been deleted. When people talk about the vertical height, we always take geoid as a surface reference. So the choice of ellipsoid and geoid is based on how well it fits the local topographies. So that's why each country or region may choose the different ones. And we want to finally express the position. There are several different kinds of coordinate systems exist. When it comes to the 2D map projections, So we have different projection ways are utilized for different countries. And the Earth is not a singular entity. It's divided by different plates, which will shift positions due to a tectonic movement. That's why different countries may adopt diverse geodetic reference systems based on their requirements. And in Kinesia, this new geodesy converter will help you handle all these transformations during the process. There are two modes exist inside of this Kinesia. We have the simplified version and also advanced geodetic converters. With simplified geodetic configurations, it will provide a relative accuracy by employing a base station aligned with the national datums. So Kinesia will choose the project datums according to the processing mode you choose. Under the single base or the virtual base station mode, we will choose the datum of the master base. And if you launch a PPP, we will use the RTCM 2020. Under the loose coupling mode, we will use the most famous one, the WGS 84. And when we switch to the advanced geodetic converter, you will need to choose the original datum of your project and choose the one you want to export. So we already have over 5,000 pre-configured coordinate reference system inside of Kinesia. So as for a long list of the ellipsoid, geoid, and projections, along with predefined transformation options are intended inside of this version. And also, if you don't find the right combination of your choice, you have the flexibility to create a customer CRS to meet the need of your special requirement. Kinesia can support not only SPJ products, we also support third-party manufacturers. In this new version, just a new manufacturer with 12 new IMUs has been added inside of Kinesia. It's a post-MV family IMUs from the PLENET. And the diverse motion profile has been integrated inside of Kinesia, so you can choose the right one during the creation of your project. Here is a new one, pedestrian motion profile, that will allow you processing in the following conditions: the low dynamic, low velocity with a single antenna and light-weighted systems. So it's quite suitable for the backpack applications. So we already passed through all these 8 main features of Kinesia. You should already have a general idea of these new versions. So here's my question. How would you like to plan to use Kinesia? Please choose your answers. We will provide necessary information according to your choice here. An email with a necessary and useful link of Kinesia will be sent just after the webinar. Okay, thank you for all the answers. So the presentation part is end. We will move to the live demo part. So here's the interface of Kinesia. You can have all the history of the project just in the middle of your screen. And in the right upper corner, you will receive the news from SPJ systems with the latest news and updates. To create a project inside of Kinesia is quite simple. We just click the button, name it. You can use drag and drop or just choose all the data put inside of this window. Kinesia will choose the corresponding choice according to your data input. For example, this one is a real project from VMA3. It's a MS196 applications with the backpack ones. So that one will just corresponding to our new motion profile, the pedestrian ones. You just need to quickly click next and all the information is already choosing. And today we just launching an update of our base station service. So I need to choose the datum of the base station. Normally it will published automatically. So just a special case for today. To set your geodetic converters, you just go inside of the project settings and the geodesy. By default, we will use the simplified geodetic configurations as I just present inside before the live demo. And if I click the button here, you will switch from the simplified to the advanced ones. So you have two fields to need to choose. Like the first one is the original datum you need to choose, and also you can choose which CRS you want to export. Inside of this window, you can have the long list of the pre-configured CRS inside of Kinesia. For each one, you can check the detailed information about like which ellipsoid, which projection, or the geoid is contained inside of this GIS. And to get more information about the geodesy, you can check the geodesy manager. So here you can check the list for the CRS, for the datum, and for the geoid. And if you don't find the one you want to use, it's possible to create a new ones. And to check which third-party IMUs Kinesia can support directly, here's a whole list. And the 12 new ones you can find from the third-party polls. Besides, Kinesia can accept generic files. That means it's another way we can support all kinds of the third-party IMUs. So let's switch to another example to show you with IonoShield. So here is an example with a higher ionospheric activities. The baseline is not so long. We can just measure it with a ruler. It's about 15 kilometers. It's not so in detail, but you can check from this new graph. And also we have a new graph to show you the ionospheric activities. So for this project, it's around 24 decades. You may don't know when I should open or activate the IonoShield. So we can just open the base station management window. Here you will have ionospheric activity indicators. It will tell me already that it's very high level. And when you put your mouse on that, it will show you under the 24 decades, IonoShield activity is recommended to activate it when your baseline is over 10 kilometers. So that's just a case we need to open it. We can check the normal result without IonoShield. It's like PPK float 100%. And after I just activate this IonoShield mode and relaunch the title coupling PPK, it will help you to increase a lot the result. So now we can see from the chart, it's PPK fixed. To not get bothered with if I should open or close this IonoShield mode, we provide another one for your choice, like it's automatic mode. So just choose this one. Kinesia will make decision based on the information or the data you just input inside. So you don't need to bother with this button. And in version 4, it can make PPK correct by the real-time RTCM streams. So if you have this recorded RTCM data during the acquisition, that will input inside the Kinesia become a base station, which you can use it do the post-processing directly. And if you want to check which course network we can use instead of Kinesia, just go into this provider page. You can find this long list of the SmartNet ones. So just choose the country you want to use and enter your credential, which you need to purchase from the dealer of the SmartNet. Once you log your credential, so Kinesia can download the data of the SmartNet base station inside of Kinesia directly. You don't need to go to the website of the SmartNet to download the RENX. Another example to show the advanced GNSS settings. Several new graphs have been added. Here you have a window to show you ephemeral recoveries with the broadcasted ones and the processed ones. And also a chart to show you the signal-noise ratio that will present the signal you received compared with the background noise. So that means the higher the better. We will see if your signal is over 14.5, that means you have a good signal of the satellite. And the average one is about 13.5. You can check from this whole procedure. And also a sky plot will show you the trajectory of your satellite. The elevation mask by default is 12 degrees, but it can be adjusted inside of advanced GNSS window. It's also the same window you can find the option to disable just one special satellite or one band of satellite. Even the whole constellations depends on your need. To check if each satellite signal is good or not, if I should turn it off, we have a new long list of the graphics of the GNSS. The first one is the number of the satellite. It will show you the tracked satellite, the user ones, and also the one with the fixed ambiguity. For the hover part, the phase graph will show you all the cycle sleep with the right points. So that means it's interruptions of the signals. The less, the better. And also you can check the dilution of the precision. So that will present the potential errors. The lower, the better. So all these informations, you can create a report to contain all the just information of the signals inside of the report. Here I have an example I already did just before the webinars here. So it's a full report, contains all the information of the project I just showed you. If we scroll down, you can find all the GNSS signal graph inside of this report. So the live demo part is just finished here. Let's move to the live Q&A session. If you have any question about Kinesia, so it's just a time to send it to us through the message. And in the meanwhile, I will take the chance to share some useful information about Kinesia with you guys. Here is the official website of SBG Systems. With this release of a new version, we have a totally new page for the Kinesia 4. So you can just get insight from the software and the Kinesia 4. That will contain all the information of these new features with the presentation of the videos. And also for the beginner of the Kinesias, we will provide free individual trainings to help you understand better the whole workflow of Kinesia. So you just click button, go inside, and choose the date and the time you would like. We will contact you later and to check and design personal trainings for you. So okay, let's move back to say if we receive a lot of questions from you guys. Hello, YoanN.
Hello, Leah. Hello, everyone. I'll introduce myself briefly. I'm YoanN. I'm the head of product management at SBG Systems. I'll be moderating this Q&A session, and we'll try to answer most of the questions that you've sent us through the chat. I can see that there are already a lot of questions, so we might not be able to answer all of them. Don't worry. If we don't answer it through orally in the live Q&A section, we will answer it via email or directly in the chat. So all of the questions will be answered. Let's get started with the questions, and Leah, I'll let you maybe answer the first question.
Okay.
Is do we have a list of the new third-party IMUs, and does Kinesia support the processing of Applanix binary 0.000 file?
Yes, I just show you during the live demo, we have a long list of the third part IMUs. And also I have already mentioned Kinesia can accept the generic format of the IMUs. So that means you just make some change and the format that you can put inside the Kinesia directly. And surely we do support the binary 0.00 format.
Thank you, Leah. I'll take the next question, and here one of the person in our audience is using PPP from a third-party PPP supplier to do what I imagine a hydrographic survey, because it's surveying at 100 nautical miles from the shore, where of course there is no option to use a base station. And the person is asking whether Kinesia 4 will help with this use case. And indeed, in Kinesia 4, as Leah presented, we integrate a new processing mode, the PPP tightly coupled mode. With this mode, you don't need a base station nearby to be able to do the post-processing. However, of course, it doesn't have exactly the same accuracy that you can get in as RTK. RTK remains the most precise processing mode, but with PPP, you'll be able to have an accuracy lower than 10 centimeter in terms of error. If that's enough for the application, then Kinesia can definitely replace your third-party subscription to a PPP service. I'll also take the next question directly, and actually that's I can see that there are lots of questions around what we support in terms of CRS, of datum, of transformation, of geoids, etc. We won't be able to answer directly each question orally, but we integrate a very large subset of the EPSG database, both for CRS, datums, geoid, and transformations. And on top of that, you can create your own CRS, geoid, etc. So if you want to use Kinesia for Geodesy, you know that you will have what you need. But if you can't find it, feel free to contact us, and we'll work with you on helping you find the best solution to be able to work with your geodetic system. Then another question on geodesy, and Leah, I'll let you take this one, is about what is the accuracy of our geodetic conversion engine.
So the accuracy of the transformation, it depends on the level of the accuracy published by the official agencies. So it mainly depends on the countries, or it's related to the datums. Like when you create a new CRS, all the transformation is related to the datum you choose inside of the CRS. And so you can check the level of accuracy inside of Kinesia. Inside of the Geodesy manager, you will have the information about a long list of the transformation, and for each transformation, what is its level of accuracy.
Thank you, Leah. I'll take the next question, and this is a very good one indeed. It's how does the RTCM replay option work? Do you need a specific configuration? So the RTCM replay option works when you have configured an RTK correction through RTCM during your real-time acquisition. If you configure it in an SVG product, we will automatically save the RTCM correction. If you configure it on a third-party product, you need to make sure, third-party GNSS receiver, sorry, you need to make sure that your GNSS receiver is configured to log properly the RTCM correction. In the case you have RTCM correction that's logged properly, when you import the data within Kinesia 4, Kinesia will automatically find and decode the RTCM stream, and will create a base directly on your base map, on the base map, that you can use, that you can manually select or automatically select, and use it for a PPK calculation. Leah, I'll let you take the next question, which is a question regarding SmartNet and what is the price structure for SmartNet? Do we sell SmartNet subscription ourselves? And what is the UI to be able to use SmartNet?
We're not a reseller of SmartNet, so we just rely on the API of SmartNet, just integrated inside of Kinesia. All the users need to contact a dealer of a SmartNet to purchase a subscription with a volume of corrections. So you just need to log in the credential, and the Kinesia can use the credential, download the data of the SmartNet base station directly.
Okay, thank you. We have a short question that I'll take. Someone is asking us if we can do post-processing for MLEAD device within Kinesia, and indeed, MLEAD devices embed uBlocks GNSS receivers, and you can directly configure your MLEAD device to save the GNSS data in a RINEX format or in uBlocks format. Kinesia supports both formats, RINEX and UBX format, so you can definitely post-process it within Kinesia. We just want to add that if you can, configure it to be saved in the uBlocks proprietary binary format, because it will allow us to optimize the processing within Kinesia, because we have a perfect support of UBX data and some optimization to process it as efficiently as possible. And that segues us into the next question, and it is, what are the GNSS receivers that are supported in Kinesia? It's a very long list. Leah, I'll let you maybe try and list them all.
If I forgot one, you will help me, okay?
Yes.
So normally Kinesia can support, accept or import the standard format. It's a RINEX. And also, as long as the GNSS receiver is dual band, like L1 with L2 is recommended, and we can also support L1 with L5. For the long list brand we can support, we can start with the Septentrion, Trimble, uBlocks, Topcorn, Aztec, and Spectra.
Yes.
What else?
You just missed Java.
Okay, thank you.
It's indeed a very long list, but yes, you just missed one. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, and it's about the pedestrian motion profile and if there are any operational constraints. And this is a very good question, because indeed this new pedestrian motion profile is designed and tailored for low dynamics single antenna applications, where usually you need a lot of dynamics for the initialization. However, we know that it's not easy to run around with a heavy backpack. So we have specifically design the motion profile so that it can work even in low dynamics. Less than 1 meter per second is more than sufficient for the pedestrian motion profile to be able to perform an initialization in single antenna. The only thing that you need is to make sure that at the start and at the end of the acquisition, you are in open sky so that we have sufficiently good GNSS condition for the initialization to work correctly. Leah, I'll let you take the next question, and it's a very important question. We focus this presentation on the new features of Kinesia 4 and on the processing itself, but a big crucial aspect of a PPK software is the export. Can you detail a bit more what are the export capabilities of Kinesia?
We have very powerful export systems. Like you can export different format. The most famous aspect, the KML, and also the Geodetic EXIFs. And also for the text exporter, you have different options. Just choose which field you want to add it inside of this export final result document. So we will have a very easy user interface. You just choose from this long list which one you want to show in the document.
Thank you, Leah. I'll continue on the question, and we have a question about IonoShield and the drawbacks of IonoShield, and why don't we activate it all the time? And indeed, this is a very good question because IonoShield has some drawback compared to a regular short baseline PPK processing. The first drawback is that the accuracy will be slightly reduced on average compared to a standard PPK. In a standard PPK, we are around 1 centimeter of error RMS. When we activate IonoShield, we'll be around 2 centimeters of error RMS. It's still much better than the error you'll get and than the accuracy you would get if you are not able to get PPK fixed. So most of the time, when you are at a slightly longer baseline or a high ionospheric activity, activating your IonoShield is going to massively improve the accuracy of your processing. IonoShield also has a few other considerations to take into account. The first one is that it's going to make the processing slightly longer. So if time is a constraint for you, that's something that you need to know. For most of the time, it's too minimal to actually impact you massively. The other thing is that we need to have good visibility, good GNSS observations, especially on the rover. So if you are in a harsh urban environment, especially, what we recommend is not to use IonoShield in this kind of situation, even if your baseline is slightly long, but instead to use the VBS. Usually when you're in harsh urban environments, there are multiple base stations around that you can use to create a perfect VBS. And then one last question that I'll take, because I see that the clock is running, is that someone who says that they see the value in PPK, but that they are worried of the impact that adding processing with Kinesia will have on their workflow and the additional OPEX, operative expenses that it would have. And indeed, today we focused on the processing with the Kinesia graphical user interface, the Kinesia GUI desktop, the desktop version. But this is the version that you can use if you want to process each log individually. But we offer a large variety of distributions that can be used to automate the processing. We have possibility to do Kinesia command line interface, so where you use a command line and can develop scripts to call Kinesia automatically. We can offer Kinesia hosted on our clouds, so that if you want to do large processing of logs, lots of processing of logs, but and do not want to set up your own server or to do it on your computer, we can support that. And we also have OEM versions for software developers who want to integrate the Kinesia technology within their application. So this was the last question that we'll take today. Don't worry if we've not answered to your question. We will reply offline afterwards via email. And Leah, I'll give you back the control to wrap up the webinar.
Thank you very much, YoanN. So thank you all you guys for attending today's webinar. All the questions not answered will be answered by email later. And also we will share some information of Kinesia with you guys. So just please stay online for a few minutes just to finish when we finish this webinars. So thank you again. And I wish all you guys will have a nice day. Goodbye.